Well, hey there, viewer. Now, are you one of those people that just think to yourself, man, I really want to get into reptiles. I mean, look at how cool this dude's life is. He lives with like 80 plus reptiles. That sounds like the life for me, but I really don't like bugs, and putting frozen rats in my fridge next to my microwavable pizzas, that just doesn't sound fun to me. What can I do? Is this the end? Will I not be able to own reptiles? I'll stop you right there, viewer, and let you know that you don't have to worry about that stuff. If you want to enjoy these amazing animals, but you don't really like having what seems to be thousands of bugs and or, you know, rodents in your freezer with your tater tots, yeah, I get it, man. But you know, if this is the case, you clicked on the right video, and also I might probably titled the video correctly to make you want to click on it. That's vegetarian, vegan reptiles, that's what we're talking about. Roll the intro. And kicking off this list, we are going to be starting with what seems to be the most obvious choice if you want a reptile that doesn't necessarily need to eat bugs. That's going to be number 5, New Caledonian Geckos. To be honest with you, when a viewer did suggest this video, I thought to myself, man, this is going to be wicked easy. I'm literally just going to name every New Caledonian Gecko, and it'll take me 10 minutes to do, and then we're done. But after thinking a little bit, I thought, well, that might be getting off a little too easy. I might make some people mad. So don't worry, I decided we're not going to do that. We're just going to clump them all together. New Caledonian Gecko. Now, New Caledonian geckos are going to consist into a few different geckos. Of course, we've got the crested geckos, gargoyle geckos, chahua geckos, I think that's what they're called, and the leachianus geckos. 4 great choices for 4 great people. Or a number of people that not just 4. Only 4 people can have these reptiles, no one else. I already own some, so you can't own, you get 2 choices. You're asking yourself, Dakota, if these geckos don't eat bugs, then what are they eating? What can I feed them? Well, viewer, I got your back right there, and I'm gonna answer that question right now. It's going to be crested gecko diet. What? Have you ever seen the protein powders that you put into milkshakes or something? I don't work out, so I don't know anything about that. But what I do know is crested gecko food looks the same. It is a dehydrated powder that all you have to do is add a little bit of water, get it that nice little applesauce texture like, throw it in a deli cup, put it in there, and you're good to go. That's literally all you have to do. My God, these are the easiest reptiles to take care of. There is a variety of options when it comes to New Caledonian geckos. Of course, we got the 2 biggest brands going to be Pangea, Rapashi, and between those 2 choices, they have a variety of different flavors: breeder and growth, apricot, watermelon, I think mango, papaya, papaya, I think I might be one of them. They have one where they actually put the insects in the food, but don't worry, they're not live. They're not kicking around in the powder, so don't worry about that. It's all good. All you gotta feed them, literally, it's gecko applesauce. It could not be easier. But hey, speaking of obvious choices, I figured we'd get this next one out of the way too, so we can get to more of the obscure stuff that people don't really think about, and that's of course going to be number 4, the green iguana. We've talked about the green iguana in the past in a couple of different videos. I'll try to put one right here if I remember. Which one did I talk about green iguanas? But we don't need to worry about that right now. What we need to talk about is the green iguana diet. So, what do green iguanas eat? Well, it's in the name. That's how easy it is. Greens. That's what... Sometimes I just say such stupid shit that I crack my own self up. Iguanas are of course going to be a vegetarian. They're going to feed on a number of different fruits and veggies. Here's a little list right there for you. Something to note about the green iguana, it's pretty much, I feel like we've known this since the 80s, but you know, in 2020, I'll still say it, green iguanas do not make good pets. I do not really recommend them to anybody. They are extremely hard for a number of different reasons. However, if you just got the passion for to over 4 foot punk mohawk looking dude that weighs like, I don't know, 20 pounds or something and just wants to destroy you when it gets territorial, hey, but you also, all that stuff, but you don't like feeding bugs, then green iguanas, that is the choice for you. Good luck. Alright, we got past the obvious stuff. Let's get into a little more the underrated stuff, stuff people don't really think about. And that, of course, going to be rounding now to number 3. It's something that I really haven't had for years. I just recently got one. They're amazing, and I actually want like a bunch more now. However, they need a lot of room, so I don't want to get several. But one day I'll get a bunch of big boys. Number 3, tortoise. Tortoises. Torts. Let's talk about them. Now, there is a variety of different tortoises you can get. They come in all shapes and sizes, coming from Russian tortoises that get about, I don't know, like this big too. Galapagos and Aldabra tortoises, which get like this big. Now, just as a quick disclaimer, there is actually only one tortoise that I know of so far, which actually does need a small amount of meat in the diet. That's, of course, going to be the redfoot tortoise, which is a little bit of a shame because I think it really is the best like entry-level tortoise. It gets to a good size, so it doesn't get as small as a Russian tortoise, so if you want a tortoise that's like, it's pretty nice size, I always recommend redfoots. They don't get too big, so they're a manageable thing, but they don't get like, they're not like really small, they're impressive size at the same time. However, if you don't want to be dealing with meats and animal products, then we can't suggest that, not at least in this video, maybe another one, but what we can suggest are other tortoises, such as, of course, Galapagos, Aldabra. Well, if you have tens of thousands of dollars, those are good tortoises too. However, if you're looking for the budget animals, and by budget I mean something that doesn't cost as much of a car, then stuff like Russian tortoises, leopard tortoises, starred and leopards the same? They might be the same. The sulcata, things like this. Big torts, little torts, medium-sized torts, they come in all sizes. Tortoises are pretty fucking rad, my guy. I have not owned tortoises until about a couple months ago. I mean, to be honest, it is my wife's animal, but I spent some time with him. You know, we're going outside, he's eating some hibiscus flowers, some of the grass, he's strolling around. You get him as babies this big, they're the most adorablest thing I've ever seen, and they only eat greens. Multitude of different flowers, greens, fruits, grasses, things like that. We actually just planted some cat grass in our tortoises enclosure, so it's pretty cool. That's about it. If you do get a tortoise, you do need a pretty good amount of room. That's about the only, you know, like downside of them. They're not like, I wouldn't say they're like difficult to care for. They just need high UVB for most, well, all tortoises need high UVB, yeah, and a lot of space. That's about it. Moving on. We getting down on this list. We still got 2 underrated reptiles to talk about. What's it gonna be? Who are we gonna be talking about? Is it gonna be Nile monitor? Crocodiles? Nope, those are not vegetarians. I tried, it did not work out too well. Disclaimer, I didn't try. Please don't spread those rumors around. Number 2, blue-tongue skinks. I've got nothing but good things to say about blue-tongue skinks ever since I've owned mine, little dude. Hilariously adorable. They look like little sausages with, you know, tiny little arms. They got a blue tongue. That's pretty freaking rad. And they don't necessarily need to eat live bugs or rodents. Let's talk about what they do need to eat. So the diet of a blue-tongue skink is really, there's a lot of variety to it. It's very diverse. There's a number of different products you can eat, but they also, while eating, you know, fruits and veggies, they also do need some proteins in there as well. However, you can get away with these proteins by sourcing out some of the raw dog food diets, or maybe even raw, wet, and even some of the dry canned food if you give it a little miss. Anything like that. Make sure it's a high quality. You don't want to be using anything like Iams, Science Diet. What's the other one? Purina? Purina dog food. Sometimes Siri doesn't talk to me, and that bums me out because I like when she talks to the camera, but she didn't. I can just sum it up. It is pure Purina, and it's trash. Don't feed it. All in all, I think blue-tongue skinks make incredible animals, especially for the entry level. Really, like I mean, you know, I've owned reptiles for 6 years. I own a multitude of different, ranging from like small little geckos to, you know, big Argus monitors and tegus. And still, I thoroughly enjoy my time with my blue-tongue skink. Like, all in all, I just think they're like one of the best reptiles, in my opinion. In any age, any experience level, beginner to expert, they're a fun reptile. But now, boys and girls, we are gonna get into number 1. It's getting a little hot in here. For some reason, a couple days ago, it was like 40 degrees, and now it is 80. I do not understand what's happening in New England, but we just have to roll with it. We're gonna get down on this list to the number 1 contender. It's going to be an animal that I actually did not know is a strictly vegetarian animal until I started doing research about it, so new stuff for me. You learn something new every day. Maybe you'll learn it too. Number 1, Euromastics. Mastics? Yeah.
Euromastics.
Yeah, Euromastics.
Euromastics.
Why does she sound so creepy when she says it? It's a little fucking discerning.
Euromastics.
Fucking haunting, man. Anyway. Now, in my opinion, Euromastics are a pretty underrated and kind of obscure reptile. I guess I wouldn't necessarily call them a rare reptile. I've seen them at the oddball pet shop, so it's not too rare. However, it definitely is not a common reptile. Not enough people, really not a lot of people are keeping them. I feel like they get outshined to things like, of course, blue-tongued skinks, because blue-tongued skinks are awesome, and then stuff like bearded dragons. However, here's the pro onto Euromastic side versus, well, the bearded dragon side, and that's going to be that Euromastics, no meats. Zero meats. Euromastics are grass feeders, or vegans, vegetarian. They can be fed on a number of dark leafy greens, peas, seeds, things, teas? I was trying to do a rhyme thing, but I stopped after, I think, the third one. I am not a rapper, I can tell you that much. Euromastics, they're pretty freaking rad. They remind me of... I don't know this one. I don't remember what it's called, but look, there's this one and this dinosaur. You can't tell me they're not the same thing, just a little bit smaller, slightly difference in size, but not much else. Well, dudes, they do require a very hot basking spot, like monitor hot. I believe it's like 130, 150 if I'm not mistaken. I looked at Euromastics a while back because I worked at a pet store. We had them. I like knowing about any reptile I'm trying to sell, so I did a little bit of research about them. That was like 4 years ago, those. But yeah, Euromastics, they're cool. They got that weird spiny tail. I've been whipped by it before. It don't feel good. That's it. That's the list. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got. We got the five vegans. Well, except for the blue-tongued skink, but mostly a list mostly comprised of vegans, and I think we did a pretty swell job. Let's get into the outro. If you liked the video, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. If you want to hear more about top 5 stuff, I'm running out of stuff, so I keep going with viewer suggestions. So lay one on me. It can be the most obscure shit you can think of. As long as it has to do with reptiles, I will make a video on it. If you want to see some more of my animals or my breeding projects, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, DBCB Exotics. We're also on TikTok, if that still exists by the time that this video airs. Hey, you like cool merch? Like, boom, these 3 designs. I gotta get a 4th one, so it's like a cool, maybe I need more so it'll make a window. Anyway, those are some cool t-shirts. You can find those at teespring.com, right down there in the description, where we also have Patreon, patreon.com/DBCB Exotic, where you get cool different bonus premium content, like up-to-date updates on any of my breeding projects going on. You can know when eggs are hatching, cute baby geckos, eggs are being laid. We got a shit ton of eggs right now for my tokays. You could check it out, which parents are laying eggs, which have babies. Oh, only Patreon knows, so I guess you gotta, if you want to see tokays, you can click on any of those videos. Or you can just go up to Patreon for only $1 a month. It's your choice. One of them's free, and one of them costs a slight bit of money. I know which one I'd choose. The Patreon doesn't have ads. That might be a selling point. No ads on Patreon, so that's a thing. We'll see you tomorrow.